Okay, we're back. Take two for this video, but I wanted to jump on and do kind of a quick informational video about A6 size. As we're getting ready for 2020, I know a lot of people are trying to pick their perfect binder size, and I've been getting questions about A6 or seeing questions about A6 kind of floating around YouTube and Facebook groups and IG planner community. So if you're interested in hearing a couple thoughts and learning something about the A6 size as far as A6 rings go, stay tuned. I have a couple of A6 sizes laid out here. You notice I said a couple of A6 sizes, and it's funny because all of these are sold as A6 ring binders. But if I just do a quick standing up of them, we can look at a comparison and see for all three of these to be considered A6, and we'll try and get them aligned right at the spines. From there, you can't tell much of a difference, but I think when I do this, you'll see that there's definitely a difference in these A6 sizes. So 1, 2, 3 is kind of like, yeah, some big differences there. Just so you know what we're talking about, this first one is an A6 Vanderspec in unwidened. This is an A6 Foxy Fix rings. And this is a Moturn, which is kind of the AliExpress Amazon planner that we're seeing a lot of lately. So those are going to be the three that I'm talking about when I'm comparing A6 sizes, just because I think these three give kind of the best example of some of the differences in A6 size. And one of the things I want to show you to really highlight that difference is these two. So once again, Vanderspec up front, Moturn at the back, and you can see there's like a gigantic difference in the sizes. So what does it mean when you buy A6? Depending on who you buy it from, you honestly may get any of these sizes. One thing I did have to do some research on is finding out that a lot of our Asian vendors, so if you're looking at AliExpress, some of them are coming onto Amazon now, you will see things listed as A6, but in all honesty, they are very similar in size to a personal size. And that's one of the things that I kind of noticed on this whole A6 journey that I went on. And it was a quick journey because A6 honestly is not my size, but I just wanted to talk to you all about them because I found some things out while I was trying to figure out if it was my size. So again, all three of these are A6. Now, the one thing that is common in all of these is if you were using a 6-hole punch, you will want to make sure that no matter which A6 you have, that you're on the A6 setting, because the rings for all of these punch for A6. So that means the distance between pretty much your center rings and each ring here is A6. It's A6 in this Vanderspec. It's A6 in this Foxy Fix. And it's even A6 in this Moturn. So all of these, if I'm putting in an insert, it's going to be an insert that's punched at A6. So what happened and kind of how this whole journey got going for me was I had the Foxy Fix for a while, but I never carried it. I saw this Vanderspec online, and I was reading standard instead of senior, so I meant to get a personal or standard size, but I ended up with this one. And then I've seen all of these kind of just floating around on IG, and it was really pretty. So I went on Amazon and got it because it was a great price. So I bought them, and I think, well, outside of the Foxy Fix that I've had for a while, but I never carried, this one came first. So I got my nice little pink Moturn A6, and I went online, and I think I went to Peanuts Planner Co. first, because that's the place that I go a lot of times when I need inserts, because I love her inserts. And I printed out an A6 insert. So this is your A6 size insert. My corner's a little wrinkled. What's this? Yeah, this is your A6. So I printed out an A6 size insert. And I came here. I was like, okay, this is A6 size. Let me put it in. And you'll notice, like I said, I punched the rings for A6. So it fits on the rings perfectly. But I left this fly leaf behind it because I want you to see what a big size difference it is from the fly leaf to the insert size. So I'm looking at that and I was like, wow, that leaves, it kind of just looks sad. Like it looks like it's floating in there. And I didn't like that look. So I'm looking at this and I happen to have one of my personal or medium-sized planners laying around. So I pulled that out and I kind of put these two next to each other and I was like, oh, okay. They are almost exactly the same size. So even though this is sold as an A6 and it has rings for an A6 inside of it, it's really close to personal size. So what I do? I decided, Siobhan, let's be creative. I went and started playing around and making just some test inserts. And I realized, okay, personal size. I made a personal height insert, but I made it wider than personal. So a traditional personal insert is 6.75 in height and 3.75 in width. But I knew, and here's, let's see, I have a personal. I think this one. Yeah. This is a regular personal insert. So 6.75 in height, 3.75 in width. When I was like, I think looking at how wide this fly leaf is, I could add something to that. So I just started making inserts at 6.75 and then I added like a half an inch, so by 4.25. And that's the whole insert set that I made for this binder because I was gonna make it work. So I started printing and cutting and cutting and printing and just kind of went to town and came up with a whole insert set in the size that would fit this Moterm planner. And the reason I had to do that is because even though they're the same height, so again, this is a regular personal medium-sized insert, it's the same height, and we'll look at the same insert. It's the same height as this A6 size that I did, but if you notice, the holes don't line up. So if I was to try, even though it's the right height, and I'm sorry, please excuse my dog. He's sick today, so he's barking at everything. If I was to try and put this, which is a personal insert, punched for personal size, so the hole punch was set to personal, and put it in this A6, it does not fit. Oh, my rings don't fit. So you see how the rings don't line up? If I put my top 3 rings in, my bottom 3 rings don't fit. If I put my bottom 3 rings on, it doesn't line up for my top 3 rings. So it was interesting to me that even though it's the same height, how you set your hole punch really does matter. But that means that if you're not trying to recreate the whole wheel and make a whole nother set of all your inserts, and I'm not good at sizing up and sizing down, so I honestly cannot tell you if you can size a personal size insert up to some percentage and it comes out this size. I'm not good at that. But if you don't want to remake all of your inserts, you could definitely print out a regular personal size insert, cut it to personal size. But when you're using your hole punch, just make sure your hole punch is set to A6. And it will punch the holes and it will fit in here because the holes will be punched for A6. But it's still short. So you'll notice when I did that 4.25, what I really like, and I think a lot of the reason people go to A6 sizes is because it gives you a little bit more width in your planner and more width for you to write, is I didn't want it to still be this short. I don't want to make my own personal or customized insert personal wide inserts. So a lot of the makers are starting to make personal wide inserts. If you get a personal wide insert, it will be personal height. So all of these are personal height. So they're all 6.75 inches tall. But personal wide is going to be about 4.5 inches in width. So to give you some reference, this insert is 3.75 inches in width. This is 4.25 inches in width. This is the one I kind of made up on my own. And then personal wide will be only a 1/4 inch more. So like 4.5 inches. So it will definitely fit if you have this Moterm version of an A6. So a lot of your Asian makers, their version of A6. You can print out personal wide inserts, hole punch them, make sure your hole punch is set to A6, and they will fit in here perfectly. The only downside that I came across, and I'll flip to the back of this flyleaf and put this insert in, is when I have this insert, this is the one I did, this is 4.25, it does not bother my pin loop. So you'll notice you can see the entire pin loop. But if I was to go up like another 1/4 of an inch, it may kind of hit and stop me from being able to use my full pin loop. But again, if you have this modern planner, and mind you, I'm not sponsored, I'm not even saying go get it, but it does come with, and the Gillio comes with this as well, a flyleaf that has a pin loop on it. So if you have a flyleaf that has a pin loop, you can keep your flyleaf in the front, put your pin in that pin loop, and then just not even worry about this pin loop back there. And those personal wide inserts will fit into this planner perfectly, no problem. So you have some options if you're thinking about A6 size. I think that's everything I really wanted to talk about. I didn't want it to be long, just kind of some thoughts I had and some things I learned about A6. So if you are getting ready for next year and you're thinking about what planner you want to use, just to bring it on home about this A6 size, and the reason that a lot of people choose it is it's kind of that happy medium. So I have some different size planners and I have some different size inserts just kind of laying on the table. So just before we end it, and as we end this, a personal size insert, a A6 insert, and a pocket, because A6 is kind of that middle child between pocket and personal. And when I put all of these together, you can kind of see why some people choose A6. Height-wise, it's shorter than a personal, but taller than a pocket. And then width-wise, it's definitely longer than a pocket or wider than a pocket, and it's even wider than a personal. So you get kind of the compactness. If a personal ring is too big or too large for you to carry, you get the compactness in height, but you do get more width on your pages to write. So that's just something to consider. Portability is big for you. A6 may be the size. So I showed you inserts, and just to show some planner comparisons, I have a personal size planner here, and this is a Gillio personal size, and this is another Moulton in personal size, and showing them they're the same size. Relatively, they're the same size. So I can show you the one. I'll show this one because it's a little bit floppier. So if I was thinking personal size, if I was thinking, let's use a regular unwidened A6, and then even let's throw a pocket in here. So these are 3 things to consider kind of when you're thinking of your planner size. Pocket, A6 personal, depending on your need. How big is your bag every day? Do you want something super duper heavy? Because the bigger it gets, definitely, and the bigger your rings get, the more you can fit in it, the heavier it does get. Do you carry a tote bag or a small purse? Do you have other things you have to carry? Those are all kind of determining factors for me when I'm thinking about what size I want to carry in the new year. But when you look at all 3 of these, to me, it's great to know that even if I just say I want to use A6, I even have size options within A6 sizes to find the one that works for me. So I hope this video was a little helpful, a little bit inspirational and informational for you as we get ready for that 2020 planner kit. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave comments. I want to make more videos, but I want to know what you want. What is it you feel is missing? Drop this in the comments. What do you feel is missing in the planner video community? Because there's so many videos to watch, I can't really think of anything to make mine stand out. But if there's something that you're looking for that you're not seeing, definitely let me know. And if it's in my wheelhouse, I can start creating content based around that. If it's not in my wheelhouse, I can try and direct you or point you to some other great planner people who are doing videos like that. Thanks. Have a great one, and bye-bye.